so the squad is in really good health. I said at the start of the week that expected every player to be available for selection come Saturday. We've had modify a couple of players training, Kyle Sinkle being one of them, and so Mason, whilst I think could have been available for Saturday's game, I made a decision that to select with picking 3 players in that specialist position. So I had to pick 2 players, done all of that training, and Dave Rubin's in a similar situation that has trained and had to modify training a little bit later on in the week and decided to pick the players that have done all that training.
Does that mean that Henry Arundel is fit and available?
Yes, so Henry Arundel is fit and available. As you know, he was unavailable previous when we were last test week in August and had missed a period of training there, but now has worked through and is fit and available.
Can I ask about Alex Mitchell? Because someone who initially wasn't in your World Cup 33 starts at 9 with the likes of Youngs and 10. Can you chat to us about the decision and what you think he brings to the side?
It's immense credit to Mitch in that he was incredibly disappointed not to make the original 33-man squad. And I asked every player that I spoke to at that point to go away and ensure that they were ready to be the next man in. And an opportunity opened up, and I thought one of the positives that came out of that Fiji game was his performance. And I thought he played well, and I think he's trained exceptionally well. He's done exactly what we asked him, was make sure he's ready to go.
Can you chat to us about Argentina, what you make of them as a side at the moment, and what effect you think they've got
Argentina are an exceptionally strong side. In the last year, they've beaten England at Twickenham, they've beaten New Zealand, they've beaten Australia. So we know they're a formidable challenge, arguably the best Argentinian side to come to a World Cup. So we know we're going to have to be very good this weekend, and I've got every confidence in the players led by the man next to me. Players have got this great blend we've got within this team of experienced youth, players, many of whom performed on the biggest of stages previously, and I sensed a real determination from the players to perform to the very best of their ability side.
Steve, what was it about Alex Mitchell's performance against Fiji that you liked, and what does he bring to the team?
Well, I think it's not what other people don't bring. I think everybody brings strengths to the team, and right now I think we've got, as I said right from the start, scrum half we've got a lot of depth. We've got really good players who offer enormous amounts. I think for this game, to start this game, what Mitch brings is what is right for this team with the combinations we have. And I think you can see he's a dangerous running threat. Everybody knows he's a dangerous running threat. I think what Danny Kerr and Ben Youngs bring is all kinds of strength in their game. So for me, each week is about ensuring I pick the best 2 scrum halves to do the job, get the job done that week.
Kevin Tinfield was speaking about Tom Curry over the week and how he important he is to the defence. Can you just kind of expand on why he's such an asset in that area?
Well, I think he, as I just outlined, I think we've got players right throughout this 23 who performed on the biggest of stages. Tom Curry is one of them. He's fantastic physical condition. He missed a period of training. It's exceptional. His movement is exceptional. I think if you look at that back 5 of the scrum with Tom Curry, Ben Earl, Courtney, Marrow, Oliver, I think you see a mobile athletic back 5 of the scrum.
Courtney, congratulations on the selection. Congratulations on the cap. What does it mean to you to lead your country into a World Cup over the weekend?
Yeah, it's huge for me. It really is a big honour, and I just want to do my best for the boys firstly, and then obviously my family and the people at home supporting us. So yeah, it's a really exciting weekend for us. We've got a really good training week, and I think the boys are really looking forward to getting stuck in.
You will see the Argentina team full of very big players. How do you get the better of the things you've been talking about?
Obviously we've got to be defensively and physically sound. We've got to match them up front. That's first and foremost, and then obviously we have game plan put in place that will suit our strengths, and hopefully, that'll give us plenty of opportunities to score some tries.
Is there an angle within the squad that we've not seen the best of you guys publicity?
There's definitely a frustration, yeah. You know, we feel it as much as anybody. We're in the thick of it, so as I've said this whole time, we're doing everything we can to make sure that come this weekend we are firing on all cylinders.
I'm going to ask this question to Steve as well. We'll all have people watching at home on Saturday night, hoping England win, as I said, but tempted to watch it from behind the sofa. So what do you say to them?
I think regardless, it's going to be a hell of a spectacle, so enjoy it. And you know, we're going out all guns blazing, so we're going to give it everything we've got.
I echo Courtney's words, absolutely. I think this is a fantastic tournament, and I think that everybody involved in the team can't wait to get started. And I said earlier in the week, I sense from the players there's a feeling that they've been written off a bit too early. People have called time on them a bit too early. And I think there's a lot of class in this squad. And I think these players have got a lot more to go. And I think they can't wait to get stuck in Saturday night.
How much of the players led the discussions? How much of you as coaches allowed them to get on with it?
Players are always involved in what we do. I think, and I've been very clear from the first moment I came into this role. One of the first things I did, and I've said this, is travel around the country meeting people, meeting players. Went up to Northampton, met with Courtney, understood where things were. That's from day one. In terms of conversations with players, they happen on a daily basis. Happen all the way throughout. I think for any good side, you've got to have cohesion within everything you're doing, amongst everybody in the whole party.
And you'll be aware of getting to a bit of a pickle back over the boost that you guys can give it with a good World Cup. You'll understand.
I'll reiterate what I think there's a quality group of players here who I think essentially is a real determination to go and put their performances, put their best performances on the park. I sense the frustration of what people have been saying about them. And when I sit and coach the team and watch this team prepare this last week, I have an expectation that these players are going to go and perform with the quality that they have this week, led by Courtney.
Courtney, as a group of competitive individuals, how do the players react to being written off earlier?
Yeah, it's obviously you know, a bit of fuel for the fire, gives us motivation. I mean, we want to perform for each other, you know, mainly. So, like as I said previously, like we've had a really good training week this week. Things feel like they're starting to really fall into place. So, we've got some genuine excitement going into the weekend. We know we're facing a good team, but we know that we've got as good a chance of any of coming away with a win.
I imagine there's some guys who really tap into that heat. Is that fair?
Yeah, I think you've got to. First game of the World Cup, and we're going to be well up for it.
When you've played games against Argentina in the past, is there a theme of maybe it's a game we've got to really show character, often a physical back, we've got another one on Saturday, is that a man test, you've got to stand up and fight a bit?
Yeah, it's always physical, that's for sure, and certainly in the past couple of years they've developed you know, a good game plan and a hunger. They won't give up, we know they won't go away, so you know, it's going to be an 80-minute performance.
Is that almost a perfect start as well, that you know what's coming and it's about meeting the challenge head on, I suppose?
Yeah, very much. As I said, we're well up for it.
Steve, with Alex's selection at nine, obviously there were guys who got a lot more experience there. Obviously, putting him in for this match is something which you're completely confident in what you can do, but also it shows something about the way you're negotiating, and also the fact that it's there's no sort of safety element to there's nothing that goes on the field as you can leave everything out.
I think what we've done is pick the team's the right team for this Saturday night. Clearly, there's a couple of players unavailable through suspension. I think this is a very, very good team. I think as you look at it, it talks about the experience that we have within the squad. People who've played in World Cups before. I think Courtney's fourth World Cup this one. I think what you've also got then is younger players with less caps, the likes of Mitch, the likes of Ben Earl, Ollie Chesley, Theo Dan, George Martin, these guys, that Marcus Smith, that add another dimension to our team, and I think that's a great blend for where we are right now.
That's about Johnny May, obviously the day, about the conversation about you were very honest about where you saw him in that situation, and just very how he had a bit of a bump, but then supposed to collect himself, and as you said, on stage this weekend, felt the potential to go to the World Cup, and that's obviously a real terrible thing for Anthony, he's not here, but it's worked out for Johnny, and he's starting to settle down. He's I suppose stayed and also
Number one is Johnny's preparation on a daily basis is an example table. He has been fantastic. Every training day, competed hard, and couldn't ask more of him in terms of what he's done. He's been exemplary in that regard, which is immense credit to him. And the second thing I'll say is, I said all along, we know there's going to be need to adapt. Planning process is essential because then it allows you to adapt. And what did Mr. Johnny's done every training session with us, every day with us, and then stepped into that VGM and talked about some aspects we could take from that game. Talked about the performance of John. He was also very good, and he's earned his selection in the team this year.
Like you say, the fourth World Cup, I mean, they're all very different experiences from the previous. Do you personally still finish business with this team? Or so those last times?
Yeah, no, certainly. This will be my last shot at winning the World Cup, so I know personally I'm going to give it absolutely everything I've got, and I'm sure, 100% sure the boys are going to follow in.
Steve, can I ask you one about Manitoba Langley? I think at the last World Cup you said that was probably going to be the last one, but here he is back starting 12. Can you just talk about the sort of sticking power and what he brings to you on Saturday?
So, and over the last period since then, he's had to overcome a couple of setbacks. And I think what you see with Manu is somebody incredibly resilient, somebody that the other players have incredible respect for. And I think that he's a great cornerstone within this team. He's a quiet man, goes about his work in that manner, that slightly understated manner, but then has big impact. So I think we're very fortunate to have him, and I think that ability, that resilience, that ability to overcome setbacks and obstacles could be said for a number of these players, just like Corny, just like so many of this squad. And that's what I think I'm going to be expecting of them now. So I think they're going to overcome a lot of things.
Can I also ask you personally about your pride in being England coach going into the World Cup? Proud Englishman, right? So, what does it mean to you to be leading your country here in France?
I have incredible pride in being involved with the England rugby team from when, as a school, I got the chance to pull the shirt on for the first time, all the way through the different age grades, and then to have my first cap and then captain the team, to be assistant coach throughout the 2019 World Cup, to try and play my part in helping these players achieve their dreams. And now I have the privilege of working with these guys now, and I couldn't ask more from these players. And I want to play along with all the coaches, all the management, is help these players achieve their dreams on the very biggest of stages.
What does it mean to your family and your boys as well? You were talking when you were appointed about trying to get them to wearing their shirts, and you managed to sort that out for them.
So they split their time between the England shirt and an Australia shirt. They had a challenging summer with them supporting Australia through the Ashes series. Couldn't get them to support England cricket, so that was challenging. But I know that they are wholeheartedly behind this team. And you kind of sense it. One of my boys wrote a letter to Anthony Watson, because how much he felt, because Anthony had to withdraw from the squad, and I think you sense that people in this country feel an attachment to this team, they feel a passion for this team, and I know that on Saturday night these guys are going to bring all their passion and all their effort and all their hard work onto the field.
Is that what you'd like to unlock? Is that the guys going to the Minis rugby on a Sunday, springing their step, because they've watched it England team win at a World Cup. You know what it's like being a 12-year-old boy, maybe trying to play rugby and all that.
I know what it was like in 2007 when we were in France, and I know that then the excitement of a number of people who were flooding across the channel to come to support this team. And I have no doubt there's going to be a huge number of England supporters in the Stade Velodrome on Saturday night that are going to be cheering this team on. And I'll say it again, this team's taken some setbacks. We talked about Manu Tulani. This team's taken some setbacks. It's had to adapt, it's had to overcome. And when I look at people like the man next to me, who is tough, hard, overcome a lot, and there is another huge number in this squad who are just like him, made of tough stuff. And I expect them to come on Saturday night and bring that onto the pitch.
Courtney, Steve was talking about passion. Argentina often seen as quite an emotional team, often have tears in their eyes. How much of the challenge is it to meet their sort of emotional intensity? I guess the stereotype is that the English are a bit more reserved with their emotions like that.
Yeah, I'd say we express it in a different way, but it's very important that if you're going to go and play Argentina and you want to beat them, that you match them there. It's something that we've spoken about this week, and it's something that we think we can do.
And then what role do Ellis and Marrow in particular play on the pitch?
Yeah, I mean, the whole pack are going to need a big performance this weekend, to be honest. We're going against another big pack. We've got some extraordinary players, very confident in the boys around me. And if we can bring each of our different skill sets to the pitch, we'd like to have a good day.
Courtney, you said a few minutes ago that this will be your last shot at a World Cup. Is that, can we read into that this may be your last campaign in an England show, and you're not made that decision? And if so, does it add an extra bit of emotion to the whole thing?
We'll be 38 next World Cup.
Yeah.
Probably. Don't think I'm going to make that one.
Johnny Sexton.
Yeah, I'm not 10 unfortunately, but no, I'm ready for 2 far ahead, to be honest. I know this will be my last World Cup because I'm too old to go to another one, I think, so we'll leave it there for now.
But given the injuries that you've had and having back sort of back to full fit, would you do that to go on against you?
Yeah, of course, yeah. So, no, I've been pleased to get through good bit of work already. So, yeah, on to the next.
Steve, if I can ask, obviously the last few weeks haven't gone as you would have wanted to, a variety of factors behind that. But from your experience of rugby and teams and how they can come together, does it just take one moment, one passage of play, one match, one half to change everything within a team? Do you sense that the whole momentum and mood around the team can be altered if you perform as you believe you will on Saturday night?
So I'm a believer in chasing consistency on a daily basis, consistently training, consistently preparing, and to the standard that is required to go and win test matches. And whilst that has not translated onto the pitch for 80 minutes as yet, I think there's been periods of time where we've seen elements of the game come out, and what we need to do is bring that together for a full 80-minute performance. As Courtney outlined, you need an 80-minute performance. I think what we do always is every day chase consistency, aim for that consistent excellence every day.
On Dan Cole, 4 years ago, a lot of people thought that would be his final World Cup, particularly after what happened in the final. What does it say about Dan Cole the man and Dan Cole the player that back together and
I think it says a huge amount about his character. It says a huge amount about him as a person, and it's also his family and everybody around him who continue to support him. He's been superb. He is one of those wise heads. He doesn't say much. When he does speak, you know it's important, and everybody kind of it stands still. Time seems to stand still when he speaks. It's he has wisdom from that he can share with all those test matches he's played. So I'll come back to it again. Got people here, players here who know what it is to perform on the biggest of stages. Players here that are determined to win for themselves, for this team, for their families, and I'm excited to see them go on Saturday.
Steve, how do you think Michael Jacob coaching style impact in the Argentinian rugby game, and if you get surprised about the 6-2 combination in the bench?
So the team's got a lot of good players, a lot of quality players play, many of them playing in Europe, so we know their players very well. Many of them I know personally very well. I think you've seen over the last 2 to 3 years, you've seen a growth in the Argentinian team and progress through that. So you see a strong team. We know that. We know from looking at their results what a good side they are. What we do is make sure we focus on preparing ourselves as well as possible to perform, because I think we've got good players as well.
We have a lot of players playing in Premiership. It's an advantage having all the players and knowing the players every weekend.
Well, I think at this level, the study that goes into every player, the analytics that goes to every player, background, all the video study you do, is that it doesn't matter where the players play around the world, you're going to study the hours and hours of them. So some of them, as I say, we already know a lot about. Some we study more, they'll be doing the same thing.
Steve, just for a bit of context, it's 10 months ago since you played Argentina in the last game. What were you doing that day? Were you out to get yourself, or were you a test? What did you make of that team that day?
I was not at the game. I watched the game on television, and I was cheering England on as much as I possibly could, because I'm desperate for the England team to win. I visited camp that week and watched them train for a day, and I was desperate for this team to go on and win, as I always have been ever since I was a young boy supporting this team. And now Argentina have said, just described what a good side they are, and the wins they've had over the last 12 months. Now our job is to put the performance that this team is capable of. I know these players are capable of. These players are determined to deliver on Saturday. That's our job now.
Thanks very much, everyone.
Thank you.